Hello, hello. I am vaccinated. It's funny, but it wasn't funny a month ago. Can you hear me? How's the sound? We good? Are we on? Lumpin' TV, are we on? We good? All right, all right. Good crowd. Everybody, thanks for coming today. The third installment of SN. Organized by Kiku Hibino, who is actually performing today. And SN stands for Signal Noise. You can also call it Saturday or Sunday Noise, because it happens every weekend. It's a part of this exhibition back here of the Art for Sale series by Buddy. The show is called Current Animals Improved Cartoon Psychoanalyst Scares Commentator. And in that show is Yeji Min with the sequin paintings, Zhao Win with the hand-painted QR codes right here. You can scan them. It leads you to a performance. You can watch it online. Song Obei, who made those action figures over there. Kiku Hibino, of course. This SN series is part of the exhibition. My work over there, those screens. My name is Greg. And Thomas Kong with the collages up over there. So that's a part of the show, and we're lucky to be here. And Buddy, thank you, Stella. Thank you, Lumpin' TV, for having us. And also, as a special day, I want to recognize that we are lucky to be here on indigenous land as guests of the Chippewa, Odawa, and Potawatomi tribes. So here we are as grateful guests. And it's Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. You can buy black in this store right here today and in an ongoing way. And for the month of June, all sale proceeds go directly to the suppliers, to the artists that made them. So just for example, we've got 20 Thou over there with jewelry, Sydney Jimenez with the cups right here, Chicago Public Skills with the beanies right here, Reform School pins. I actually got one of these for a gift. It was a big hit. They're back there. Happy Juneteenth. And let's see. So at this point, let me introduce you to our performers today. So I'm going to skip on that story. I think I'm going a little overboard. I had a personal anecdote to add, but I'm just going to pass on that. It's a depressing one, so let's keep it a celebration for now. Okay, so let's start with Kiku here. Kiku Hibino is a Japanese-born, Chicago-based sound artist, produces cross-genre electronic music, from chamber music for media productions to non-linear analog noise for art installations. He has collaborated internationally with a wide variety of artists and scholars, including Kawaguchi Takao of Dumb Type, Curtis Rhodes, Norma Field, The Esther Gates, Mike Weiss of Zelianople, Mitsu Salmon, and Yu Zhu. The publication The Wire once described his music as trying to cram in as many memories as possible before it all disappears, and that the music concerns itself with themes of capturing and preserving fleeting moments. His recent work attempts to deconstruct Chicago house music through the noise music production approach. The project was funded by DCASE and presented at various locations in Chicago. And our special SN guest today is Mitsu Salmon. Mitsu Salmon creates original performance, sound, and visual works which fuse multiple disciplines. Her work starts with personal or familial stories and branches out to speak to contemporary issues such as diaspora, labor, and the environment. Salmon received her MFA from the School of the Art Institute of Chicago in 2014 and her BFA from NYU in 2005. She has presented her work at places such as Lynx Hall, Highways, Performance Space 122, and internationally at Hebel am Ufer in Berlin and Urban Guild in Kyoto, Japan. She has participated in artist residencies at Taipei Artist Village, High Concept Lab, and Oxbow. She was awarded Best Collaborative Multidisciplinary Performance by New City, DCASE, Chicago Dance Makers Forum grant, and a touring grant through Midwest Nexus in 2018. Now, both of them have actually collaborated on a music piece, but before I forget, I also want to give a big thank you to Joseph Ravens of Defibrillator Gallery, in case Joseph is watching, provided these beautiful speakers that you can hear me through today, and also S.Y. Lim from 062, who hooked that up. So thank you to you all too. Okay, so about their album, and I think this has to do with his performance today. Is Desert Turtle, and by the way, this album is coming out in August. Will be available. Available? Am I drunk? Will be available in Buddy in this store, so you can copy it here. You can find the link on Mitsu's website. It's called Desert Turtle. Desert Turtle is a sound work by Mitsu Salmon and Kiku Hibino around ideas of shelter, landscapes, and migration. Mitsu's mother arrived from the wet and dense city of Yokohama, Japan, to the vast and dry Mojave Desert in the 1960s. She related to the turtle she found in the landscape, hiding in their shells and traveling with their home on their back. So I'll be back later to make some more announcements at the end, but with no further ado, here is Mitsu Salmon and Kiku Hibino.
Definition of aridity. A desert is where the evaporation outnumbers the precipitation, where the wind is louder than a few birds. It is a space of possibility. Kiku, could you push play? Thank you. But to some, the desert is just a place to shoot loud guns or test hydrogen bombs. But for others, it is a place to dance and then the play. Kiku, and then the play. Thank you. Let's see. So he's a musician and he's also setting up everything. So thank you for your patience. So yes, thank you, Kiku. Thank you. So I'll start again. A desert is where the evaporation outnumbers the precipitation, where the wind is louder than a few birds. It is a space of possibility. But to some, that just means a place to shoot loud guns or test hydrogen bombs. But for others, it is a place to dance. And for others, it is a place to play. It becomes a symbol of freedom in the American landscape. But the desert, how to put it? If you see a Japanese American figure in the desert, or rather, if I do, I think of confinement, internment camps. My family was not interned. They came to the U.S. after that, or rather, it's complicated. But the desert is where they landed. A desert has less than 10 inches of rain a year. Yokohama, dense, subtropical, humid city. From that to a barren desert. My mother arrived at age 8. Her brother, mother, father, and her. Her father inspected military for the safety for the military. And that she knew if they were the only Japanese in town. Go as far as you want, just make sure you see the house, that you see the house, her mother yelled. Go as far as you want, just make sure you see the house when you turn back, just make sure you see this house. And my mother, she would run with her brother as far as she could see the house. And she turned back to make sure she saw it. My mother once was playing with a lizard, and the lizard ran away, And she wasn't finished playing with it, so she held it by its tail. And the tail came right off. The tail came right off. And she cried and cried, holding the lizard's tail. Much later in life, she found that lizards grow their tails back. And for some reason, this gave her solace. The idea to reinvent, to grow after damage. The present day of Mojave surfaces have not been formed by volcanic upheaval, but rather movement of particles across landscapes, erosion, transportation. Watching Niles, the science guy, he explains erosion by sanding the rocks down and down through millions of years. I return to the house of my mother grew up in Barstow. A young boy goes to the truck of the car. I'm a spy with a camera, videotaping this house, which used to be surrounded by vast, dry landscapes, and now it is held by suburban homes. It is slightly disappointing as I cannot picture her there, or my grandmother laying in bed shocked by the change. No one who knows her language, unable to cook, unable to do much, so it falls on my mother. To the turtles for Natalia, who has some pet turtles. And so, as I mentioned before, in the desert, there were turtles. And my mother, she loved the turtles. Turtles are the general name, and tortoises are the ones not in the sea. So tortoises spend about 98% of their time underground. Coming up in the spring to mate, underground. My mom came during the Cuban Missile Crisis when it was common for people to build bunkers underground. Second homes for fear of bombs that also start to go underground. The military thinking that if you release the bombs underground, they would be less dangerous. But they formed these craters that looked like craters from the moon. But the contamination from the soil moved to other areas such as St. George in Utah and exposed those that are called downwinders. In Japanese, it is called hibakushu, meaning those affected by the bomb or radiation. My mother and her brother were spoken to in English at their home. My grandmother said it was because a teacher asked that the family do that, but my mother doesn't recall that. A turtle in Japanese culture represents the heaven and earth, its vast shell, the vast sky, and its body, the earth. the spirit of the turtle sweeping its tail, erasing traces. Traces that erase traces, leave traces. Creosote bush. Creosote bush. Feel free to take a seat. Creosote bush. So in the Mojave Desert, there are these creosote bushes, and also known as governess due to its ability to secure water from nearby plants. And creosote bushes are kind of like sourdough in the fact that there's the starter, the king creosote, and from other ones there comes other creosotes. And the original is about thousands of years old. Creosote. Creosote. So, again, thanks for coming this afternoon. There's still more, but I just wanted to start with, so this particular piece, it started when I was in Utah this last year during the pandemic, and I drove out to the Mojave Desert. And it's like the first road trip I'd really done by myself to go to the place where my mother came from Japan to the States. And just kind of driving down this highway and thinking about these kind of different ways of movement and change. We were driving along, we were driving so slow. My hands on the wheel, I did what I know. I put my foot down on the pedal, I let the time go. We were going where I don't know. I don't know. We were driving along, we were driving so slow. Thank you, yes. I think this one isn't working. We were driving along, we were driving so slow. My hands on the wheel, I did what I know. We were headed west, I mean cross the ocean west, I mean waves lapping, crashing. I mean waves lapping, crashing down. Oh just trying not to see. I was just trying not to be. I don't know the way, but they took me astray. I was just tripping with the trees. I was just rolling with the sand, melting away, sinking right in, sinking right out, not knowing where to shout. I was just dreaming with the trees. I was just sinking in the sand, melting away, taking my time, not knowing how to shout, not knowing how to shout. I looked down and I saw. I looked down and I saw. I looked down and I saw. There was a tortoise, 3,000 years old, with its home on its back, with its home on her back. I didn't even see it coming. I didn't see it go away. I didn't see myself. I didn't see you. I didn't know what to say. It kept going away. It kept going away. It kept. Underground. sea, where would it be? Where am I now?
And you don't really even have to think about the landscape because it's just poured into your eyes. It's very beautiful. When we moved to the desert, it was total opposite of Japan. At first it felt like there was nothing there. Because if you looked in one direction, it would be totally flat, and it felt like you could look forever, and it was all empty. You looked another direction, and it would be hills, some of them cragged, and definitely with gulches. But nonetheless, it looked barren. Otherwise, you're just walking through and experiencing nothing. Parts of the soil is clay-like, and other parts are sandy, other parts it felt like there's a lot of gravel. I really wanted to walk barefoot, but it's dangerous to do that because there are rattlesnakes and scorpions. But periodically
Okay. Yeah, good. Mitsu, thank you. Kiku, thank you very much. Do that again. This is really good. I actually think you've set the tone for me to tell my story. Can I tell a story? Okay, so this is maybe something you're not going to hear about in the art history books. So my family, we're actually quite familiar with the Utah landscape. Who here knows the spiral jetty, right? Seminal conceptual art earthwork, right? So we were going to go see the spiral jetty, and we're driving out of Salt Lake City. You got to drive out to the middle of nowhere to get there. You see signs on the highway, and it's saying you can go towards the Great Salt Lake, or you can go to Topaz. Now, if you know what Topaz is, it's a former internment camp. So we're taking a right turn. We're going to the Great Salt Lake. That's already on our minds. You're highly advised before you get to the spiral jetty to stop off at this, what would you call it, tourist spot, like stopping point, rest point, before you go down an unmarked road to get to the spiral jetty. And we stopped there, and we're looking around. It's like, this is kind of a weird resting stop. And what that place is, it's actually the Golden Spike Monument. Now, if you don't know what that is, that's where the Transcontinental Railroad was completed. And if you don't know what that means, look up your Asian American history and think about all of the labor that went into that and the unseen labor that went into that. And then by the way, that that shop is extremely condescending. It tries to do a good job, but it's super condescending. Anyway, so we're thinking about Topaz, we're thinking about the Golden Spike Monument, and then you go down the path to get to the Great Salt Lake, and you're trying to transcend that. So something that's not talked about often in your experience, to go see this amazing artwork. And, that's what I was thinking about while I was walking around, so just saying. And Desert Turtle, I think, relates to my experience too, in fact, so that was really beautiful. TV probably can't.
The TV people couldn't. Sorry, but you have to be here live. So yeah, just connecting it in terms of, that very much connects with the piece. And if you have any questions, feel free to talk afterwards. So thank you so much for coming out.
I got a couple announcements.
Yes.
So if everybody is depressed enough, let me try to lift you back up. I made a mistake and did not mention another artist in our show, Liang Lascombe, who's got the video work right there. It is a made-for-TV work, so you can see it on TV. You can see it as TV, also streaming on Lumpen TV every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Let's see. Tomorrow, SN continues, so we are right in the thick of it. So tomorrow we've got another event featuring She with Maru Maru, performing here live, again, 2 p.m. And I will say this again tomorrow, but next Saturday on the 26th, there will be, of course, that's Sunday. Next Saturday on the 26th on Lumpen TV, there's going to be a performance by Zhao Win, who made the QR codes, on Lumpen TV at 7:30, followed by a conversation with Julietta Chung. So please tune into that as well. And again, happy Juneteenth. Please show your solidarity year-round, not just today, but thanks for being here.